Welcome to Spit Bucket. We're here at New Zealand in a Glass, one of the best events you'll find in the wine calendar. And our goal today is to check out what is happening in the New Zealand wine scene, talk to some great winemakers, talk to some wine lovers who come to the evening session and really get stuck in to this great range of wines. And we're in beautiful central Sydney, Darling Harbour next to us. The sun is shining. Things couldn't be any better. So we're going to negotiate the escalator with the camera as well, which should be interesting, but let's see how we go. All right. James, and you're good. Good work there. This is different. So in 2 seconds before I get spat out the other end, we're looking for some great Pinots, some great Sauvignon Blancs, some Chardonnay, some Bordeaux blends, some Hawke's Bay and Waiheke Island. In short, New Zealand wine is very exciting, and New Zealand in a Glass is about to trip me over. And here we are.
Take one. Sam Neill.
Absolutely. We have just stepped out from the New Zealand in a Glass tasting this afternoon, where I'm very lucky to be having a chat with Sam Neill, who is the proprietor of Two Paddocks, fantastic little winery in Central Otago. Before we get into the wine, Sam, tell me, why did you get involved with wine in the first place?
I had a rush of blood to the head and a moment of madness, which has now persisted for something like 17 years.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, and so they haven't dragged me away to be electrocuted yet, but the day will come. But the upside of it is that, you know, madness can produce wonderful things, and I think this is pretty wonderful. This is 208.
Yeah.
We produce sort of two levels of wine, and this is our top level. I only wanted you to drink the top level.
Of course, that's the only one we go for.
And the other one is called Picnic, and Picnic is what we drink every day.
Yeah.
This one we drink every second day because it's really quite special.
And the Last Chance?
The Last Chance.
How often do you get to drink that one?
The Last Chance is probably once a week because. Because that's a single vineyard. There's the first vineyard and Last Chance, a single vineyard Pinots, which we make only in years when we think that that particular vineyard has something special to say.
Okay.
Like, you know, might say something like, make me this year, and I don't want to be associated with any other vineyards. I'm very, very special in particular. So we make a single vineyard one, and the Last Chance. We're making a Last Chance this year, for instance. But this is all estate grown from 3 vineyards.
Yeah.
Should we open it?
You're torturing me, yes. Let's
come
have
on,
a
let's
taste.
open it. Now this is the best, you know how it used to be the best sound in the world?
Now it's the...
Yeah, I'm gonna open it near to your microphone because
This is...
Oh, wait a minute, someone opened it already. So it didn't make any sound at all.
They didn't
I'll
trust
have to
us
fake
to be
it.
able to open it. There you go.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's a
great
cool sound, isn't
Absolutely.
it? And it always means you're not going to be dudded by some vile, Spanish cork. Nothing worse.
When did you switch to screw caps?
I switched to screw caps in 2002. Because 201, we had a very good. Wait a minute, I'm getting confused now by the glories of my own. We had a really good vintage in. No, it was 2000 because in 99 we had about 25% corked. It was really heartbreaking.
Wow.
But we've recovered.
That'll do it to you for sure.
And we now use the screw caps, and we've never looked back.
Fantastic. So on the nose, I'm getting lovely warm red fruit and plums and some spice and almost sort of wild strawberries. Would that be about right? Am I close to the mark?
I love all of that. and there are great ways to describe wines, but the one that's sort of au courant is interior train carriage.
And is that a British
Victorian,
British rail train, or is that a
when they used to have leather seats?
Oh,
you know.
yeah. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, my dad even worked for British Rail for a while.
But there's no train carriage there. There's a little bit of farmyard, which I always like.
Which I love, absolutely. And what I really love is the balance of the wine. Central Otago sometimes gets accused of making rather rich, heavy Pinot Noirs, whereas this is beautifully balanced. The alcohol is perfectly in check. You can see it's only 13.5%. And is that something you strive for in terms of style?
Yes, and
or
also
is it really the vintage that determines it?
Well, the other thing is we're keen on structure, so we don't really think that we don't really. Obviously, this is 208, so it's 3 years on the go, but there's 2 more years really before I actually want you to drink it. So we're being slightly piggy by getting ahead of ourselves, because I'm absolutely interested in longevity in wine.
Yeah.
And a lot of Pinots from our part of the world are fantastically obvious and gorgeous in the early days, but they tend to fall over later on, and that's not something that I desire.
Yeah. Well, from my point of view, it looks like Central Otago has a very exciting few years to come as the vines really mature,
I think
and
so, yeah.
and as you have some older vintages to try and see how they age as well. So exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very much enjoying this wine.
Good man. It's nice drinking with you. I like that enthusiasm.
Well, it wouldn't be much fun if I was.
I know.
A bit bored.
There's too much jaundice in the world, isn't there?
Oh.
Too much cynicism. I love a little bit of joie de vivre when it comes to food and wine.
And if I can say so, that comes through on your website. I had a little look in advance. And if you're a winery out there, please have a look at the Two Paddocks website, because maybe you'll pick up a few tips. Absolutely beautifully written, lots of stories, lots of character, and a blog going back to 2000,
yes.
which has got to be pretty rare in the wine world.
I know, yeah.
Or in the world, I'd say.
Yes, I'm an occasional mad blogger, and it's been fun to do. I have a sort of fictional alter ego that writes this
I
blog.
saw a little bit of that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of even madder version of myself, I think, that gets hold of the typewriter and goes to town.
Well, I feel like I even know some of your animals now, which is, I'm pretty sure I've never known from any other winery, so I feel special.
Well, good, yeah, and it's encouraging to see this week from the Daily Telegraph that august organ from your part of the world had an article about the intelligence of sheep. It just backs up everything that I've been droning on about for years.
Yeah.
And they're very surprised that a sheep answers to its name. Well, we've got one of those. And
do they all answer to
their
names?
You say bar bar, and he comes running, and you think, well, you're not stupid. You like me, and I like you too, Barbara.
And I also learned how to shear a sheep. Thanks.
Oh,
to
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
good
I'm hoping
man.
to practice at some point in the near future.
That's right. Try, but share your sheep with something that doesn't actually cut them, because you don't want
a bit messy.
You don't want a bleeding sheep.
No.
Nothing worse than a bleeding sheep.
I've always said that. Nothing worse than bleeding sheep.
Yeah. But isn't this nice? Here we are in Sydney. Pan over there. All right, that'll do. Come back.
That's Cockle Bay
come
Wharf
back.
in all its sunshine-filled glory today.
That's too pretty.
And you have a house in Sydney as well? Is that right?
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you based?
Double Bay.
Okay.
But mostly, in God's own country in Central Otago.
Fantastic. Well,
it's lovely talking
it's
to you.
been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
I'm sorry I couldn't be more technical on the, on the lees and all that stuff.
we're not too worried about technical here. We're just trying to get a good story, and I think we have today. So it's been a pleasure talking to you. Cheers.
Thank you very
and
much.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Nice meeting you. Just got to finish.